In this video, we are going to learn about two-digit subtraction, but not just any subtraction. All of these examples will be examples where we have to borrow from the tens. So if you just take a quick look at this example, 53 minus 28, we get stuck because we can't do 3 minus 8. We can't subtract 8 from 3 since 8 is bigger than 3. So this video is all about how we do two-digit subtraction where this scenario happens, where our bottom number is bigger than our top number. So keep watching to learn how. So here we have the example 53 minus 28. I've broken these numbers up into these tables. So in the top table I have got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 1, 2, 3. And in the bottom table I have 10, 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the problem arises because we can't take 8 away from only 3. So what we have to do is we have to borrow from the tens. On the top table, if I take one of these tens and the ones can borrow it, now with this combination I can do, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can take away 8 from 13. I can now subtract 8 away from 13 by matching my boxes up. When I do this, I am now left with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in the ones, I have 5 left over. I can do the same thing in my tens. So I can match up, I can take 10 away from 10, this 10 away from this 10, and I'm left with 10, 20. So in the tens I'm left with 20, the fives I'm left, or the ones I'm left with 5, therefore I'm left with 25. So if you take 28 away from 53, you will end up with 25. Alright, I'm going to show you the exact same problem, 53 minus 28, but I'm just going to show you another way. So I'm going to break up the 53 similar to before. In our tens we have 50, and our ones we have 3. Break up 28, in our tens we have 20, and our ones we have 8. And we can't take 8 away from 3. So what we're going to do, you're going to break up 50 into 40 and 10. And then this 10 needs to come over to the ones. So I'm going to add the 10 here, cross it off here. So now I don't have the 50 either. So now, let's see, 10 and 3 is 13. So I'm going to subtract 13 and 8, and then 40 and 20. 13 minus 8 is 5, and 40 minus 20 is 20. Put them together, and once again we have 25. Another way to look at it is we need to bring the 5 down to a 4, and then that 10 bring it over in front of the 3. So now 13 minus 8 is 5, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So once again, we're getting 25. Just another way to get the same answer. Alright, here is the last method using this same question, 53 minus 28. And in this method, we're going to ask ourselves the question, how much is in between 28 and 53? In other words, we're going to count up from 28 to 53 on a number line. Alright, so I'm going to label my number line by tens. I'm going to start with 20, and then count up to 30, 40, 50, and 60. And I'm going to plot the points 28 and 53 on my number line. 28 would be just about right here, and then 53 would be just after 50 right here. And we're going to count how many times we would have to jump from 28 to 53. And what you can do, I first like to jump to my first tens value. From 28 to 30, I would have to jump 2. And now I can jump by tens. From 30 to 40, I jump 10. From 40 to 50, I jump 10. And then from 50 to 53, I jump 3. And now you just have to count, well, how many times did I have to jump? 2 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3 is 25. So counting up from 28 to 53 is 25, which means the difference between them is 25. So 3 different methods for doing this 2-digit subtraction. Let's try it with another example. Alright, I'm going to show you each method one more time, and then you can decide which method you like the best. So this time we're doing 32 minus 19. So remember, we can't take 9 away from 2, so we have to borrow from the tens. So now I will subtract my ones by matching up and crossing off. So in the ones, I am left with 1, 2, 3. And then with my tens, if I take away 10 from here, I'm left with just one of them, which would be 10. And then 10 plus 3 together would be 13. So 32 minus 19 is 13. For the second method, we will now do 84 minus 47. So let's break it up into 80 and then 4, 40 and then 7. So I can't take 7 away from 4, so I need to break up 80 into 70 and 10 and move the 10 over. So I'll add 10 to the ones, cross it off in the tens. So now I'm left with 70, and I'm left with 14. And 14 minus 7 is 7. And 70 minus 40 is 30. Now if I look over here at my problem, remember you can think of it as cross the 8, make it a 7, and then the 10 comes over in front of the 14. 14 minus 7 is 7, and then 7 minus 4 is 3. So 37 is my answer. Alright, here is our last example using method 3. And this time, remember, we're counting up on a number line and figuring out how much is in between 29 and 75. So I'm going to number my number line. Let's start with 20 and go up to 80. So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Let's plot the numbers. So 29 would be just below 30, and 75 in between 70 and 80. And let's count how many times we have to jump. First, let's jump to the first tens. We would just jump 1, and now jump from our tens. So that would be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and then we would have to jump 5 more to 75. And then add up how many times you jump from 29 to 75. So 1 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 is 46. So the difference between 75 and 29 is 46. Now that you have learned 3 methods of 2-digit subtraction, you can pick whichever method you like the best.